Kansas isn't losing people, but certain price points and certain neighborhoods, they're absolutely shifting. And a lot of buyers and sellers don't even realize it until homes start sitting longer, price reductions start popping up, and the leverage that sellers had for the last 3 years quietly starts moving the other direction. And when you look at what's actually happening in the KC Metro, data from 2024 and 2026, the patterns are really clear if you know where to look. Hey guys, if this is your first time here, I'm Kendal Hackett, a realtor here in the Kansas City Metro, licensed in both Missouri and Kansas. I help buyers and sellers make smarter, more confident decisions, and today we're breaking down which KC neighborhoods are starting to cool, where people are actually going instead, and what all of this means for you, whether you're buying or selling right now. So first, let's talk about why the shift is even happening. The biggest one, affordability. Average sales prices in the KC Metro climbed from $200,000 in 2015 to over $380,000 by late 2025. And that happened while interest rates were sitting at historic lows. Then rates jumped to the 6.5 to 7% range, and suddenly that same home that felt like a stretch became a payment that a lot of buyers just weren't willing to make. They didn't disappear, they just got a lot more selective about what they were willing to pay and where. And what I'm seeing with my clients, especially people relocating to KC, is that the conversation has completely changed. It used to be, can I get anything? Now it's, is this specific neighborhood actually worth this monthly payment? And that's a really different mindset, and it's what's driving a lot of the movement of what we're seeing right now. The Kansas City housing market is expected to improve in 2026 with falling interest rates and increased construction, making homeownership more accessible for buyers who were priced out. But the shift is already happening, and it's neighborhood by neighborhood. All right, so let's talk about where things are cooling first. And I want to be really clear on this. These are not bad areas. Some of them are places I genuinely love, and I've sold many houses there. But they're softening, and if you're buying or selling right now, I need you to know these things. So Johnson County, so we've got Overland Park, Leawood, Olathe, places like that. They are still strong markets, but the upper price bands are starting to feel it. Johnson County is the most expensive housing market in Kansas, with homes in some areas selling for an average of around $560,000 and up from there. And when you combine that with rates still in the low to mid sixes, the payment math is just getting harder for move-up buyers, especially people coming from a starter home on the Missouri side who are trying to cross that line for the school districts. The homes that are sitting longest over there right now tend to be the ones that aren't fully updated. If you're asking $550 for a home that still needs a kitchen, buyers are doing that math and walking away. Homes priced 5% over market value in the KC Metro are averaging 45 plus days on market and requiring a price reduction that ends up costing more than the original gap. That's really an expensive mistake. The condo and urban loft market in downtown KC has noticeably softened as well. In 2025, the trend of leaving downtown KC for suburbs is continuing to grow. It's driven by economic pressures, lifestyle shifts, and the need for more space. People were drawn to that walkable downtown lifestyle during the pandemic. A lot of them have kids now. They want a yard. They don't want an HOA. They don't want stairs and a parking garage. And so that demand has pulled back, especially for condos that are priced like single-family homes. Prairie Village requires roughly 36% of median income for the typical mortgage payment, and Leawood reaches about 38%. That's approaching a ceiling that buyers are feeling, and these are still beautiful, desirable neighborhoods, but the buyer pool is smaller. The homes take longer to get offers, and sellers are having to work a lot harder than they expected. If you own this price range and you're thinking about selling, strategy matters more right now than it has in years. So if these pockets are cooling, where's everybody actually going? Because they're not leaving KC, they're just making smarter, more value-driven moves. A huge chunk of what I'm seeing is people just repositioning within the metro. They're not leaving KC, they're leaving the price point that stopped making sense for them and their family. A budget of $300,000 to $500,000 in Missouri communities like Lee Summit, Liberty, and Blue Springs buy significantly more square footage than the same budget in Johnson County, Kansas, where the sweet spot runs $400,000 to $600,000. And when you actually run those numbers side by side, a lot of families go, wait, why are we paying this much for a school district that's only marginally better? And they make the move. Lee Summit. This one has been on fire, and for a good reason. Lee Summit's median home price range is around $421,000 with 12.1% year-over-year appreciation as of mid-2025. Great schools, a revitalized downtown, newer construction options. It's hitting on everything families are looking for right now without that Johnson County price premium. So Liberty in the Northland. Liberty offers a slower pace of life without being far from the city, with a historic downtown full of local shops and a strong sense of community, making it a great choice for first-time buyers. I'm seeing a lot of people come from Midtown or downtown KC, land in Liberty, and feel like they won. More house, better yard, same commute, or honestly a shorter one if you're heading north. Raymore and the outer suburbs. The median home price in Raymore is significantly lower than in central Kansas City, yet the properties offer larger lots, newer construction, and more amenities per dollar, with many new subdivisions, including community pools, walking trails, and clubhouses. For that move-up buyer who got priced out of Lee Summit, Raymore is where the math finally starts working again, and the commute is still manageable, usually under 35 minutes to downtown if you need to be there. So what does it all actually mean if you're in the market right now? For buyers, you have more leverage than you've had in a while in certain pockets, but don't assume that's everywhere. Homes in Overland Park, Lee Summit, and Prairie Village are still selling in under 2 weeks on the market. The days of lowball offers are not back everywhere. Know the specific neighborhood you're targeting, know the data, and work with someone who can tell the difference between a market where you have power and one where you just don't. The good news though, if you felt completely priced out during 2021 and 2022, that frenzy is gone for now. You can actually go look at neighborhoods, take a breath, and figure out what actually fits your life long term. That's a really healthy place to be as a buyer. And for my sellers, pricing wrong right now is the most expensive mistake you can make. This isn't 2021 where urgency alone sold listings. The difference between pricing a home at $345 versus $355 in the current environment is not just $10,000. It's the difference between 8 showings or 2, multiple offers or none. Pricing has to be sharp. Condition has to be on point. Presentation matters more than it has in years. And here's the thing. Sellers in KC still receive 97.4% of their original list price throughout 2025. This market is not falling apart. It's just more nuanced than it was. The sellers who win right now are the ones who understand that. That's the real picture of what's happening across Kansas City Metro right now. It's not doom and gloom. Honestly, KC is still one of the most solid markets in the country, but it's moving in different directions depending on the neighborhood and the price point. And you want somebody in your corner who actually knows the difference. So if you want to talk through what this means for your specific situation, whether you're buying, selling, or just trying to figure out where to land, my info is right below. Let's make a plan. And if you want to keep learning, I've got more videos to help you decide just like this one.